Welcome back, everyone, to the Sporting Chance podcast. This podcast is brought to you by MountainStateFalconrySupply.com, your home for your micro hawking needs.
What's up, guys? If you're anything like me and you like braided equipment, leashes, jesses, there's no better place than MidnightFalconry.com. Richard Moats puts a lot of effort into the finest, tightest braids that money can buy.
Listen, folks, now's the time. Heck, it might even be too late. Check out North Mountain Goshawks to secure your hunting partner for, inshallah, next season, but possibly the season after. Welcome, everyone, to the Sporting Chance podcast. Today we are joined by the illustrious Dr. Nick Fox. Dr. Fox, also known as Nick, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure and honor that you're here. As all the listeners know, your name comes up quite often on this show, and we are just honored to have you here. So thank you for your time. We know you're busy.
And as I understand, Casey's name came up when you were doing a little research about the show.
Do you want me to mention that? Well,
yeah, please.
I said, who is this Casey fellow? So my wife Googled him. Turns out he's a male, I think he's a male porn star. And I thought, wow, finally they've come for me. Because you've got to bear in mind, my father was a vicar.
I'm not familiar with that term.
A vicar is Church of England parson, priest.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Really rubbed off on me, but
thank God, right?
I haven't managed to do the porn bit either, so
Well, this is your big opportunity.
Casey,
Congratulations.
me.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. That's not a new phenomenon for me, but yeah, unfortunately, I share the name with another gentleman. So do not Google my name unless you want to be traumatized. Or aroused, depending on what your flavor is.
So, Nick, Casey has for years and years and years talked about the Bird of Prey management series and how much it meant to him as a young falconer.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'd imagine you haven't heard that one before, huh?
Well, we made that series because, we have staff and young people and they come and go. And, oh gosh, my wife has just come in with a pet crow.
Oh, that must be nice to have a pet crow.
Come and show a pet crow.
A baby crow. It's not a pet crow. He's just.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, nice to meet you. Sorry, he's just a young crow. He's having a helping hand.
He's fallen out of the nest up in the woods.
So
so you're just rehabbing it?
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
Yes, we are.
I don't know what's going to happen when we start flying the crow.
He's going to be wild hacked and he'll be fine.
Oh, Jesus.
And you're not allowed baggies in the UK, so that's out of the question.
Baggies. That's why we have our road crows.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good segue into that. So in Europe, a lot of the audience may already know, but you can't. It's illegal to do bagged quarry for your birds. So Dr. Nick invented with Wingbeat, I believe, is also the other company involved in that.
Yeah, well, that's our company.
It's your company too. Okay, I wasn't aware. And you invented a device that basically flaps its wings. You want to tell us a little about that product?
I haven't got one right here to show you, actually. Basically, we fly falcons at carrion crows, and we use horses. And those of you that hawk crows know that some of the young falcons, they take a bit of entering at crows. We used to hack the falcons, but we don't anymore. But we used to use dead crows dragged behind a horse or a quad bike. We put them up with kites and balloons and all that kind of thing. But really what we want is a lure which does what it's told. and can go all over the sky. The falcon to chase, get a good search image, and so on. So about 15 years ago, well, actually a lot more than that, about 25 years ago, I made a spec at what I wanted, how big. I wanted a crow. But modern technology wasn't modern enough, and you just couldn't do it. But now we've got LiPo batteries and GPS and ducted fan motors and all sorts of things. So eventually we've made this crow, and you can fly it up into the clouds, fly your falcons at it. And we also have, we do the same thing as a white model. And with a white model, you can then paint it to look like something else. So if I've got an American falcon who wants a duck, right, we'll send him a mallard, or a sage grouse, or a seagull, or a pheasant, or a partridge. Right. So it's exactly the same model, but because of the painting, it looks different. And obviously, you have to fly it like the species it's supposed to be.
Right.
So we have that, and we send it all over the world, and we train our crow falcons with the crow. Getting more and more popular. So what happened then was we were enjoying it so much because when you're a falconer, your heart is with your bird. When the flight's on, you're encouraging your bird to go. Well, when you're the pilot, suddenly you're the prey. And when that falcon comes across the sky and starts putting the boot in, you're the one on the receiving end. So it's a big change of mindset for you as a falconer. But you do learn a lot in the process about the wind and tactics, and you can start to understand why prey do different things that they do. But anyway, so we enjoyed that. We enjoyed flying and training our falcons. But then we thought, well, actually, it's so much fun. Why don't we make it into competition? So we invented a thing called a hunt race. And the hunt race is designed to bring out all the attributes of a pursuit falcon that a falconer actually wants and needs. Okay. For example, if we breed a falcon for the Arab flat racing, all that bird does is fly a foot off the ground as fast as its little wings can carry it. Well, I don't want my falcons to fly like that. And nor do I want to breed falcons that just become that.
Right.
It's the same with dogs and horses. You're trying to retain the bloodlines that can do the business. So in the hunt race, it's in several parts divided by a horn or a signal. Okay, and Marshall do the tags and timing for us.
Okay,
so it starts off with the pilot launching the prey and the falconer launching the falcon, and they're a team together, the pilot and the falconer. And it's against the clock. And the first thing the falcon has to do is to chase the prey until it is at 400 feet. The falcon is at 400 feet, which is our legal limit in Britain for flying RC planes.
Okay. We
can get a license to go higher, and we do go a lot higher. But for the hunt race, 400 foot is fine. It normally will take a good falcon, 90 seconds, something like that. A bad one longer. Depends on the weather and the wind and so on. So when it reaches the 400 foot, a horn goes, and the pilot then has to dive straight down as quick as he can and get that falcon down as quick as he can. So that will show you, well, first of all, it's shown you how good the falcon can climb, how well it can climb. And then it will tell you how well it can stoop. And actually, what you'll find is a lot of young falcons, they can't do a vertical stoop. It terrifies them.
Really?
You'll see them come down like that. And a lot of stooping out when you're hawking, if you look closely, they're not vertical at all. They're at quite an angle.
Makes sense.
When it's at an angle, it'll take longer to come down. Now, when the falcon is at 30 meters, say 100 foot, about the height of a good-sized tree, the next horn goes, and the pilot will obviously have been below that height. So the poor old pilot, he finds himself not that far off the ground with a stooping falcon intent on killing him right up his backside. So he's got to get out of that. He's going to have to somehow throw up and twist to avoid that stoop being hit. And he's got to survive for 30 seconds. Okay. So the falcon will be chasing him. And after 30 seconds, the next horn goes, and he's got to be caught in the air and they're to come down in an arena, which is 100 meters square. And it all sounds pretty easy, but it's designed as a spectator sport. So people don't want to spend ages watching a falcon going up. You know, when you do sky trials,
right? Some
of those falcons take ages to go up. But a pursuit falcon's got to just stand on its tail and go. So a crowd will be happy to watch for, say, 90 seconds, but for 3 minutes, they're not going to pay attention.
Right.
And they'll want to see a stoop, and then the dogfight phase will be right over their heads because the pilot cannot go far away because he's got to be back again by the end of the 30 seconds. And then what happens is if the falcon catches it, which it will, what you often find with falcons, when they catch something in the air, they don't like to come down in the open in case an eagle gets them. So they'll steer their way down or even carry the prey to a bush, a hedge, something.
Right.
So the edge of the arena, I won't tell you who designed this competition, but he was a bugger.
I was going to ask that, who came up with the rules and the times and stuff.
Yeah. So the edge of this arena, right, is a white tape. It's actually electric horse tape, but it's not electrified. Okay. And it's a foot off the ground, okay? The falcon can't go underneath it with the prey, but he can just go over the top. And there's a crowd barrier 5 meters further on, all the way round. So the instinct to the falcon is to go right up tight to the barrier with the prey. Not always, but some do.
Right.
So the idea is that your pilot with the falcon, he's got to get it up there as quick as he can, which means he's got to read the wind because the falcon will climb into the wind better than downwind. So you're trying to make an upwind leg as much as you can to get up. Okay. Then you're trying to get a good stoop. Dogfight, try and keep out of trouble, get caught at the right moment. And you've got a good time. Everything's going well. You're really pleased. You're getting really excited. And then the falcon just carries it over the tape. 30-second penalty points, you're out of it.
Right.
So
sounds very complicated.
It sounds complicated, but actually when you go to the races, you'll find that everybody understands it after one or two very easily. So in falconry, when we go hawking, we have hopes. We have a lot of dreams, but we have a lot of hopes and a lot of despair and things going wrong. And in life, your despair, in a way, defines your hopes and your the good bits and the bad bits. You need the both.
Yes.
Okay. And the falconer understands that. Some shooters don't. They just want to kill lots of stuff. But the falconer knows that they're looking for, they're trying for something, but they're prepared to be disappointed. And
well said.
So the hunt race actually emulates that as well, because it's not over till it's over.
Right.
Till you're down in the arena with your time. And
Makes
so
sense.
we can understand that and cheer, but until it's actually down, you're not finished. And
Gotcha.
it's not like a scientific test like the flat races, where it's just a question of how fast does it go. No, a lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can go right up to the last moment.
Right.
So that's how it's designed. So it's interesting for non-falconers as well as for falconers. And it starts to show almost all the falcons that enter the hunt race actually are also used for hunting.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
We want to keep it that way. It's to help the hunting and help the skills needed to hunt with the falconer, not to necessarily try and go off into something totally different.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a good training exercise to correlate to hunting also. It's just when they catch it, I'm assuming they're made out of some like heavy duty like foam that doesn't like rip apart. And
if you look at www.rowfalconry.com, are we allowed to advertise?
Of course, that's why you're here. I told you. Anything you need, yeah, of course.
Well, rowfalconry.com will show you what the model looks like, or British Falcon Racing Association will show you more what the racing is like. But it's expanded polypropylene foam. It's the size of a crow.
Okay.
Same size. It weighs about 650 grams, which is the weight of a good size crow in Britain. It's got a foam head made out of Eva foam, which is the same as a croc shoe.
Right. Oh, yes. I could see that being a good material.
We've flown them straight into a woman's face once.
I was going to ask that when you're talking about flying them over the crowd's head. I was wondering, like, if what kind of insurance policy you guys got for these events.
Well, actually, that's very difficult. I'll tell you why. You can insure your bird for falconry, and you can insure a robotic prey for radio control model flying. But insurance companies aren't used to having the two together. But anyway, we have some insurances, but the same model can be a falcon. Okay, so we also make peregrines and goshawks, and that means you can do pest control.
Oh,
you can clear airports. You can do landfill sites, and we're working now on agricultural vineyardy type things. So the peregrine can chase things off runways very effectively. And for all of that health and safety, they're very hot on all of that.
Right.
So there's no external propellers. You can you can fly it on the side of a car. It doesn't matter. You catch it by hand.
Gotcha.
So very durable. Could you see those ultimately replacing live birds for what we call abatement in the United States?
Yes and no. Some abatement, for example, with Harris hawks and warehouses and that kind of thing, you just carry on. But where you've got an airfield, a And that has to be cleared like now. And then you've got to be aware yourself. If a falcon doesn't come back,
right,
you're stuffed. So you can do a focused attack to clear the place, and you don't have to keep it. You just put a new battery and you fly it again whenever you're ready, whenever you want to. It's not as if you know what it's like with a falcon. Fly it twice a day and look after its feeding, and what do you do at weekends? And so you can do both. And the other thing we do actually is we sell seagulls to people for training their bird control falcons with.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we don't want to sort of outdo the use of falcons, but sometimes falcons are not as handy to use as something with more control on it.
Well, in the United States, you need a special license, of course, to be an abatement falconer. Is that the case in the UK?
Not really, no. You need to have a license to be an RC pilot for that kind of thing. But no, they get all sorts of people. And pottering around with a Harris Hawk on industrial site isn't a highly skilled job.
You're offending a bunch of people here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money doing that here.
They like to call themselves professional falconers, is what they call themselves. Those people.
Well, they are professional falconers because they're making their money at it.
I guess.
You just broke Casey's heart, Nick.
Well,
it's true, I guess.
I can see Casey's a rough, tough sort of fella. He can
just
cope with it.
I'm rugged. That's the look. I'm going for rugged over here.
Rugged. Yeah. I might have to look a bit harder for that.
Right. Fair enough.
But yeah, flying a falcon on a big airfield. I'm not very experienced at all of that, but you do need to be fairly under control because they've got so many time constraints. It's not quite the same as a free and easy site. Right.
Yeah. It makes sense. Now, is the roe crow, is it waterproof? Like, because you said you...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty damn waterproof. We've had them lost at sea. We've had them float down rivers. I've hosed the mud out of them.
They still run, huh?
We've lost them in woods and things and picked them up a few months later with lots of mouse nibbles on them. Yeah, I mean, depending, you see, it's modular, okay? So the wings come off separately from the body. The head is sacrificial. If the falcon is one of these that keeps biting chunks out of the head, just put another head on. If you damage the wings, you can just repair it or put another pair of wings on. If the engine gets stuffed, just put a different engine in and you just keep going. I mean, we've got some veterans that are several years old. And touch wood, at the moment, we haven't heard of anybody having any significant injury to a falcon.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the way, like looking online, like you can't really tell like where the motor is, like where the propellers are, that like it all looks like it's like enclosed and there's like really nothing that can hurt the bird.
You can't see anything from the outside. And also there's only two control surfaces and they're on the wings, nothing on the tail.
Okay.
If you have stuff on the tail and a young falcon takes you by the tail, you'll soon damage all your controls.
Correct.
So you just have what's called elevons on the wings and that does everything.
Okay. So the wings are actually functional. They don't flap though, right? That's a stupid question.
We started off by making flapping wings, but they don't work. You see, an ornithopter, works by the power of the flapping.
Right.
To a human eye, it kind of looks quite good. But actually, try and fly one of those things, they're hell.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Practically everybody wants something to be easy to fly. And so it has a stabilizer in it. So that, for example, say you get to the bottom of the stoop, you don't know which way's up, especially if the falcon is cancelleering on you and you're coming down like that. And you think the ground's coming up really quickly. The human brain is not as fast as the bird brain. That's the time to hit the stabilizer.
Okay.
That will at least pull you out. The falcon might splat you, but at least you won't have hit the ground.
So it has a button on it where if you get confused, you could just push the button and it will kind of like find its own level and straighten itself out.
Casey, of course.
All right. I know. I'm sorry. Listen,
you think he's an amateur?
I didn't mean to doubt you there.
Bro.
I was just questioning it.
In Britain, we have a thing called the KISS method. Do you have it in America?
I'm sure we got something that sounds familiar. KISS.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, yes. We have that here too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we have to do. A skilled pilot, he wants all the controls and he's pretty fancy. But the bog average person like me, I just want to launch it, control it around the sky, do what's needed for training my falcon, and we will fly the row crow, the whole team of falcons, 4 days a week or 3 days a week at the row crow. 3 days a week we'll be on horses hawking.
Oh my goodness, that
falcons.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Because I couldn't hawk every day on a horse. I'd be knackered.
Yeah. It's necessary. The horses, I'm assuming I've seen some crow flights and stuff like that. Like they can go quite a ways. So the horses are like a necessity. It's not just like an aesthetic thing.
Oh, no. Of course it's a necessity. And also the thing is, it's a different sport altogether because how we do it is we have a team of falcons that normally on any average day we'll take out about half a dozen falcons in a hawking van, okay, together with a picnic. Okay. All right. And then I don't normally have more than 12 horses out.
All right.
And I and maybe one other person will carry one falcon. So we might have two, depending on how far away from the vehicle we are, because we'll be up in the hills. And the other people, they all have a job to do. All right. So I'll have them spread across the landscape. So they may be like half a mile across the landscape. And a crow, if it's chased by a falcon, will go for a bush or a tree or a sheep or whatever. So I've got to put horsemen near any of those obstacles, and they need to know to ride like hell to get there if it's going that way and there's nobody there.
Ah.
Okay. So each person has a job, and usually they'll work in pairs for safety. And my job, apart from just being the falconer, is to make sure that everybody has a fun day. Okay. And so at the end of the day, you'll hear people talking and you don't recognize we had the same day because people say, did you see that ditch? Or whatever it was. Right. And of course, everybody's got a different experience. And when say you were hawking on, crow hawking on foot's impossible, really. But if you're hawking from a vehicle and you can't really follow, you've lost most of the experience. You're just sitting there like a potted plant.
Right.
Right. Well, that's no good. You need to be there on your horse. You need to go until the tears are streaming out of your eyes and you can't see what the hell's going on. And your the hoof beats stop and the horse is in the air, but you can't look down because you're looking up.
Oh, that sounds fun. You're painting a picture.
Can you describe crow hawking?
He was in the process of doing it.
Talking
about the tears in his eyes, leaping over things. I was getting into it and you ruined it for me.
the actual logistics of crow hawking, because you said you have to have a horse. We don't, any crow hawking that's done here is probably from a car.
Okay.
And it's illegal to do it from a car here.
Yeah, we're the only horse group operating in UK. There was another little group, but sadly the fellas died. Wow. And a lot of our members have died, and I've almost died.
Wait, but you're saying they died? They're dying from injuries, or just they're getting elderly?
No,
or?
Some have died from old age. We've had a couple of broken backs. We get a lot of broken shoulders and things, collarbones and ribs. I had the horse fall on top of me twice last season.
Oh my God.
You're putting all your energy into training your falcons and neglecting your horse training.
That's easy.
That's it. Yeah, right. The horses are that's where the danger comes.
You need a horse with 5 legs. Otherwise they'll fall over.
That's that would hurt.
So what I'm saying is mounted hawking is a different experience from just, taking the lid off, letting it go and watching.
Right.
Okay. And the logistics in USA, you're not really into pursuit falconry. You are a bit with the micros, you're with the Merlins and things, but by and large, you're not really into the out of the hood flights because you haven't really got the quarry, which is a hell of a shame.
Right.
I did talk to Frank Bond once about hawking cranes, sandhill cranes. But I know when I've been in America, you've got some lovely open country and BLM land and all that kind of thing. But the crows might be 10 miles apart and they might be ravens.
Right. Yeah.
Which means logistically, to answer Aaron's question, you can't do that on a horse. We need country where you're going to find a new crow within 20 minutes or so.
Okay. I'm guessing that is you're mostly, it sounds like, at least from what I've seen, it would probably be more of like an agricultural kind of setup where they're hanging around like a sheep or like a farm area. And
not an arable farm setup.
Okay.
Livestock country, cattle mainly, cattle and sheep.
Right.
Now, where you find cattle, you'll find crows. The trouble is, when your falcon catches a crow, it may go for cattle, hide under the cattle, and the falcon may get killed, or, especially with sucklers and continental breeds, the falcon that's caught the crow, before she's killed it, the cattle come and kill her.
Oh, wow.
So the riders have got to be riding hard, and at the same time, they mustn't wow up the cattle or they'll stampede over the falcon.
Right. Okay.
So
there's a lot going on.
They have to be kind of, sometimes it's grandmother's footsteps just to get to the kill, just to keep the cattle off without spooking the whole damn lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's, I feel like it probably could be done here in some way because we have, United States, there's a little of everything.
We were in California in January with the California Hawking Club. And we did actually go to a place that was hawkable for crows. There, we were seeing a reasonable number of crows in open landscape that was hawkable. But other times when I've been in Nevada and I don't know, Nebraska and, the desert states, it's lovely open country. You can ride like all day long. Yeah. But to find quarry is the hard bit. Pursuit quarry, that is.
Right.
So the crows you're slipping your falcons on are, bathing or foraging on the ground when you encounter them?
We fly on what's called the fells mainly. That's not farmland as you know it. It's some open grazing land with bogs and natural landscape.
Okay.
Quite beautiful, some of it. We're just, some of our country is along Hadrian's Wall, which is a World Heritage Site. So the crows are normally in pairs or just a family of 5 or something. And they know where they live. They know every little tussock and rabbit hole and crevice, everything. And so they've got the advantage of you, and they'll go for it. And they'll try and spoil the flight. And obviously, when you're game hawking, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your falcon up into a dominating position. In other words, like in the hunt race, you've got it up there, and then you just put your quarry up below it. And the quarry really is just a sitting target, because the falcon can just go like that. That's its attack.
Right.
Now, if you did that with a crow, the falcon would just kill it.
Okay.
Unless the crow got under your horse or something. What you're doing with the crow hawking is the other way around. Okay. You're trying to put the falcon under the crow.
Okay.
Once the falcon is under the crow and you're riding under it too, what's the crow going to do?
It's going to try to climb, probably try to get.
Excellent, Casey. You got it. Well done.
It's going to try to get in the dominant. It's going to be a struggle to get to the dominant position and try to outfly up into the sky the falcon and exhaust the falcon.
Climb.
Yeah.
Yeah. But where we live, it's also usually very windy. And in the process of climbing, it'll probably get nearer to a wood or a source of cover and screw your flight up. But on a still day, you might get a ringer. Okay. In other words, we often have seen real flights at real crows, almost identical to a hunt race, where they've both gone up, ringing up, stoop. Maybe a dogfight, maybe not. And that's the sort of format of the thing. You're trying to get that crow into the air. The other thing we don't want is a big flock of crows. If you've got a flock of anything, the hawk will just quickly nobble tail end Charlie.
Okay.
Really, you just want a pair of crows.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say, so you're doing all of this to set up the slip and the flight that you want to see, not necessarily to just catch a crow.
Oh, hell no. It's not about just catching crows. I mean, otherwise you could as well just go out. The thing is, where we're hawking, people will say to me, oh, crows are dead easy. Yeah, well, I bet you they are if you're in arable country in the south of England. You try going up to where we are in Northumberland on the moors with a 20, 30 mile an hour wind. And you suddenly find that crows are very clever and they won't let you get anywhere near. And you've got a bog and one thing and another. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. And the whole point is to get a good flight. But sometimes it'll be a good flight from the point of view of aerial stuff. Other times it'll be good because the crow is just clever. And you say, well, I have to hand it to that crow. It deserves to get away because it did this, it did that, and then it had the wind up its tail and it basically went flat stick downwind and just showed a clean pair of heels to that falcon and made it to a wood, and we all went like hell. There was 2 loose horses and we remember.
Yeah. I mean, yes, as we all like to talk about that when the quarry does something spectacular. You root for it.
We don't add up at the end of the season how many crows we've caught. Probably because we don't catch them. I mean, I used to catch about 150 a season, but now we only catch 40 or 50 because I don't go out as much as I used to.
Okay. Yeah. And I have a question for you, and this is a good transition to the New Zealand falcon that you work with. Right. So in a game hawking scenario, because the New Zealand falcon, based off of what I've studied and whatever, I mean, look at a picture of it on Google. Studied. They have a very long tail, and they're considered more of a forest falcon, right?
Okay, so in New Zealand, no accipiters, no peregrines, no merlins, nothing. There's a harrier. There was an extinct eagle and possibly an extinct goshawk years ago, but that's not confirmed really. Okay. There's one owl, laughing owl, that went extinct. So the falcon is basically, the female is filling the role of a peregrine, the male the role of a merlin, the female the role of a goshawk, and the male the role of a sparrowhawk. So it's got a long tail, rounded wings, very long tarsi, fairly narrow beak, and it's got a very aggressive personality. And it's a specialist bird hunter.
Okay.
Because apart from a few bats and whales and seals, there were no mammals.
Okay.
So it's very much an all multi-purpose tool. And it's very intelligent, which makes it harder to train if you're used to something like a peregrine, which is much more sort of bog standard, does what it says on the tin.
Right.
The New Zealand falcons, if you're the kind of fella that wants to go out and show off to his mates and do all the right things with a game hawk, don't get a New Zealand falcon.
Okay.
I mean, I had one once.
So don't get one, Casey.
Oh God, you beat me to it.
I had one once. I was out grouse hawking, and they're very impatient for waiting on. They won't go high and they won't wait long. Okay. So I remember one flight, she came down on a frog. Next flight, she took on a helicopter.
Was it a big frog, though?
Yeah. Could you eat it?
I don't know how big it was, but I think it was moving.
Okay. All right. Well, it counts then.
It may have been on the hop.
Oh, yeah. As long as because you can't catch a frog on the ground. Everybody knows that.
It has got to be on the hop.
The helicopter was definitely moving.
Okay, good. Like a legitimate helicopter?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was out of season.
The helicopter?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a helicopter season there, Casey.
Oh.
He was in Afghanistan when this happened.
I wasn't in Afghanistan. I was in Scotland. Another time with a young male falcon, New Zealand falcon. First flight at quarry, bumblebee. Second flight, hang glider. Took it. Couldn't bring it down, but the pilot was wetting himself because the claws were going like that on the delta wing.
How do I place an order for one of these birds?
Third flight was a pipit. So it's bracketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting me excited. I mean, longwings don't really get me all, worked up, but the way you're describing this bird. But the reason why I brought it up is because when the crow would take cover in the woods or in, a bush, or that falcon, based off of what, you're known for, is working with those birds. You're known for a lot of other things, but working with those birds and stuff like that, and the way that they're structured and their natural history, it sounds like that bird would have no problem just following that crow into the woods.
It'll keep going.
And making easy work of it.
It'll keep going. Yeah. Yeah. It'll chase. I mean, I've had them chase rabbits down rabbit holes, go right underground, and you can't get them out.
Right.
You have to dig them out.
Really? They just don't want to come out, or they
they don't want to come out because they've got a rabbit down the hole.
Oh.
Have you ever done any ferreting? Are you allowed to ferret where you are?
We do tickling over here, they call it.
Yeah, no, ferreting.
It's illegal here.
Yeah. So the ferret goes underground for the rabbit. And sometimes they'll get the rabbit in what's called a stop in a dead end, and they'll lay up with it. You've got to dig down to it.
Right.
Well, the falcon will do the same. And they can't easily turn around in a rabbit hole. I know friends in New Zealand, they've had them at hack, and falcons got killed by going down a drain pipe after a sparrow. Can't get out.
Yeah. And falconry is illegal there, so they're reintroducing them back into the wild in the hack sites, I'm assuming?
Yeah, they've been doing some of that. No, that's at Wingspan up at Rotorua.
Okay.
And falconry isn't actually illegal. We've managed to get it made legal in New Zealand with harriers.
Harriers?
Right. Now, the harrier in New Zealand, the Australasian harrier, is actually about the same sort of size as a Harris hawk.
Okay.
It's not like your weedy swamp hawk. Like the harriers we have here in Britain, they've got weedy legs and, they're not much use for falconry. The Australasian harrier it's not as robust as a red tail, but it can easily handle a rabbit. It's just that its temperament is different.
Okay.
For example, they don't use trees and high perches. You don't see a harrier higher than on a fence post. Okay. They don't have a crack acceleration like a goss or something.
Right.
So they're not my dream bird, but because they were causing trouble with some of the endangered species, the Department of Conservation were making it legal to kill them. So basically we said to them, look, if you can kill them, you should be allowed to keep them alive. And we won the argument. And so now you can actually, I forget whether you have to have some sort of a license or not, but you can legally fly one. And they do fly them a bit at Pukekos, which is a gallinule. It's a black water bird. Do you know your, what do you call them in America? Not the coot.
Right, I was going to say a coot.
The moorhen has some fingered green toes, not like the coot.
They're what they called swamp hens.
Swamp hens is probably the same. Gallinula chloropus is a British one. Anyway, the Pukeko, which is a Maori name, is about the size of a leggy small chicken.
Okay.
The flight, I have to say, isn't the most inspiring.
Right.
But it depends on your starting point in life.
Yeah.
And it's an achievement to catch one with a harrier. Not that many people are interested. The falcons are being flown more for rehab.
Okay.
But there's not so many falconers in New Zealand.
Right.
So what was the motivation for breeding the New Zealand falcons?
Well, I'd done my PhD on them.
Yes.
In the Southern Alps in the South Island. And when I left in 77, 78, I'd been breeding them in New Zealand. And I got a permit. I had permits to hold them. And I said to the Wildlife Service, as it was then, well, I've got permits. All I want to do is move where I keep them. And I managed to get 6 birds out to Britain.
Wow.
Unfortunately, of the 6, 2 were brothers and sisters, another 2 were brothers and sisters, and only 2 others were single and related.
Okay.
And I bred them all, and I bred them for about 15 generations, and we still have them. But it's last few years, it's been a struggle, and we haven't bred a female now for 3 or 4 years. Whether we can keep the colony going, I don't know.
Okay. I would imagine import of fresh genetics is going to be extremely difficult.
Well, the trouble is now there's all sorts of Maori rights on native species. There's a lot of greenies have got into conservation, and they don't want anyone to do anything, really.
Right. Typical. What a surprise.
And so on. But we have actually trained a lot of people from New Zealand with the New Zealand falcons,
okay.
Learning how to breed them and manage them.
Are there any?
Have they ever been crossed? I'm sorry. Nope. Were you going to ask the same thing, Casey?
I was just going to ask Dr. Nick, how I could possibly get my hands on one somehow.
You can't.
Great.
Ken Felix had one. I sent, I think, 2.5 pairs to Tom Cade some years ago.
Okay.
When they were still at Ithaca. Then they moved to Boise. But they didn't manage to keep them going.
Interesting.
And I mean, what I learned was, basically, if you give a falcon to a falconer, really don't expect to see it again.
Or a goshawk.
Yeah, what about a goshawk?
Yeah, no, you're never going to see it again.
If you give one to yourself, don't expect to see it again.
Right. Okay. So then because if you Aaron will probably get a kick because I never, I was very unfamiliar with the whole forest falcon species as a whole. They're fascinating.
Don't say forest falcon, Casey, because that confuses them with macrastas, which are the forest falcons.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah. So maybe that's what I'm talking, because the forest falcons are I guess, yes, they're separate, but it looks like something from that movie Avatar. A lot of them. It's nothing you've ever seen in your life. Aaron, have you ever seen them? Have you ever went down that rabbit hole looking at them?
The movie Avatar?
No.
I don't get to see many films.
No. Their tail is like.
I don't know much about this type of falcon.
They're one of the most incredible looking birds you'll ever see. It's like tail is like longer than a goshawk.
Yeah.
Its head is like a falcon and a hawk mixed together. It's like the craziest looking thing you'll ever see.
They hunt a lot by sound. The New Zealand falcons will also hunt by sound.
Okay.
They'll listen and if there's a bird's nest in a barn or something, they'll fly up and tear it to bits.
Wow.
I remember I was magpie hawking once and the magpie disappeared into a hedge, but the wind was blowing and there was a rusty wire fence and it was squeaking in the wind. And she was running up and down. She couldn't find what was squeaking.
Oh, wow. That's so fascinating. So is the way that their skull is shaped, is it similar to like a harrier, like where it has like concave ear really. Positioning?
They are a true falcon. They look like a true falcon, but they've got quite a narrow beak, which is thought to be an adaptation for killing parrots. Because they've got a hell of a bite on them. They can kill things quite well. So say I was flying a female at about 560 grams, and I can't remember what that is in pounds and ounces.
It doesn't matter. Grams is the best metric anyway.
Usually they'll take pheasants and things like that. So a female isn't really any bigger than male peregrine, depending.
Right. Yeah, there's fluctuation. It just sounds like a fascinating bird, and that whole with the.
It is. I mean, I've enjoyed flying them. I don't fly them much myself anymore. Okay. Actually, I'm looking out of the window. My wife's got a male New Zealand at the window, and we have a female New Zealand.
That was my question. You crossed them.
The female New Zealand is flying. Well, female Joe New Zealand is about the size of a reasonable female goshawk.
Okay.
Now, if you imagine a female goshawk which keeps going, okay,
right.
it could keep going for a couple of miles if it feels like it.
I bet.
So you're running out of steam like a goshawk does.
Right.
It can just fly and fly. In terms of acceleration, I don't know. I mean, I've with a female New Zealand falcon, I've had them fly down female sparrowhawks, which is our accipiter.
Right.
They can be quite nippy, you know. End on, they're not as fast as peregrine.
Okay.
Yeah, but their acceleration's better than a peregrine.
Okay, because the only thing I could equate that cross to in my mind would be like a Girmado that we have here in the States.
Yeah. Well, the Aplomado is a smaller and less extreme version of a New Zealand falcon.
Okay.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah. And they're pursuit falcons as well.
Yeah. Very fast, very smart. Their body structure is a little different.
Persistent.
Yeah.
As well.
They are wicked fast too. I was very surprised. There's a girl here in New Jersey that has one, and she flies during the off season on invasive starlings, and watching some of her videos, that like they are insanely fast, like very fast birds.
Yeah. So they're good fun. I used to breed Aplomados, but I sold off our Aplomados because in Britain, you know, we don't have many legal small birds anymore.
Right.
And also, to hawk small birds, you need to have them out in the open. And it's actually, when you actually try it, it isn't as easy to find good quarry for an Aplo or a sparrowhawk in Britain.
Okay.
Because say you get your hawk going in August, your young hawk going in August, even if you had legal quarry like a blackbird, which is not, all right, a starling, say, because you know what a starling is.
Right. We have blackbirds here too.
Yeah, but it's not the same as our blackbird.
Okay.
That's why I'm hesitating.
All right.
The blackbird's very common, but it'll go into cover. It lives in a broken landscape of cover, and you might see one out in the open. The moment it knows that there's a hawk about, it'll be into cover, and you won't get it out. So what you do is you send a small boy with a stick round the back, okay, and you tell him to beat like hell. And maybe, if you're really lucky and the boy's a very unpleasant small boy, the blackbird will come out on your side, and you'll get a flight with your accipiter.
Right.
Problem then is you'll have a very pissed off small boy who won't do that again.
Ah, gotcha. Unless he's crazy, like I was.
He got all of
you would have loved Casey a few years ago.
He didn't see a thing.
It's all right.
Yeah, well, Casey, you'd quite like to see something happening.
In the beginning, I just do what I was told. You know, they'd send me into the Phragmites and just disappear in there and come out to a bird on a rabbit.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that you could be a spaniel replacement.
Oh, yeah. I just got one. We have very similar personalities. we don't stop. The only thing is that the spaniel doesn't seem to have the temper that I have, unfortunately.
What kind of spaniel?
It's a Sprocker spaniel. It's a field-bred cocker with a working line Springer spaniel. Yeah. Okay. Excellent dog.
Yeah.
And then I've ran dachshunds, and Aaron breeds dachshunds. So we're very familiar with hole work and rabbits in holes and digging and it's digging. Yes.
Teckle is good for you guys.
It's a necessity for me where I live. If I didn't have one, unless the rabbit's caught on the first slip, it's almost always going in a hole or somewhere impenetrable. And without the dachshund, I'd be nothing without the dachshund, for sure.
It's the only way we can reliably find rabbits.
Correct.
Here.
Yeah, on the East Coast at least.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll go to California and those guys, they wear flip flops and or Crocs and shorts, and they catch rabbits as many as they want. Over here, we got to put in some work.
Well,
you can tell him I said that too when you see him in a couple of weeks.
Well, I have Munsterlanders.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're great dogs.
Yeah, because I used to have wire hairs, but I switched to have a nice Munsterlander, and they're good all-purpose dogs as well.
Yeah. We had a previous guest on the show from Canada that runs one, and it's a fascinating breed.
Yeah. I'm always a bit of an all-purpose type person myself.
Yeah.
Do you have the distinction of the small Munsterlanders and the large Munsterlander?
I don't. Ours is a large Munsterlander. I've never worked a small one, but I should think they're pretty good, especially if you want them for your kind of cover rather than a grouse moor.
Right. Yeah. To get in the tighter places and push stuff out.
Yes.
Yeah. Nathan Highlander was the guest, and he runs one, and he's like the only guy I know of that runs one for falcon.
Yeah. No, I think they'd be very, very handy.
Oh yeah. So now we touched on accipiters, where you set that up, how, it's kind of more difficult to get smaller birds. And it's a little bit of a stretch for a perfect segue, but let's segue into you. Based on what I've found, online and everything, you were very instrumental in reintroducing goshawks back into the wild in the UK.
Yes, in the early 70s, there were the odd goshawks around in Britain, but I don't think they were known to breed. So we had a three-pronged approach. And this was mainly done through the British Falconers Club in those days. And I worked with a fellow called Robert Kenwood. He's a professor nowadays. And the most cost-effective, simplest way was to just trap passage goshawks, bring them over. There was no quarantine in those days. Just let them go and off they go.
Right.
That's the easiest.
Yeah.
Another route is to bring over chicks, irises, and make artificial nests and hack them out from artificial nests. And I did that one summer in Argyll in Scotland.
Okay.
And another way to do it is to train them up in falconry, catch loads of stuff with them, and then let them go. And I did one of those as well. Okay. Really, just putting out a load of passage birds is, I think, the best surviving, easiest thing. But falconers like to do the training bit.
Right. Makes us feel better. Now, Now
we have goshawks all over the place.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw one down on our lake a couple of weeks ago. It just went right past me as I was watching, because I've got beavers on our lake. Another bird we've done is the red kite. And that was down to 25 pairs in Britain.
Wow.
And so I said, and they were only getting one chick off per nest. So I said to them, why don't you bring 2 eggs, leave one in the nest with a couple of dummies, bring 2 eggs to me and we'll hatch them out. And then we can rear them up. You can put them back in the nest just at fledging time, and we'll triple the investment. And so we got various licenses. We did that. We did 53.
Wow.
Over the space of about 5 years. And the problem was, I'd ring them up. I ring up the field workers and say, okay, I'm ready. Got some chicks ready to go out. Can you come and get them? Put them back. They climb up the tree, and there was this one chick that had total devotion of parents. My chicks, reared by a buzzard, twice the size. Couldn't put them back. Not with them. It'd be Cain and Abel battles.
Right.
So we'd have to play musical chairs, moving to pair up the right chicks and the right nests.
Gotcha.
And the reason for it was that they were under food stress.
Okay.
And they just didn't have enough food. And that's because they were in central Wales, which is a very poor sheep rearing district. And there's just very little for them.
What are they normally eating?
Anything.
Okay.
Carrion, anything they can get hold of. Small birds, small mammals, frogs, anything.
Okay.
The Brits in India used to call them shite hawks. India. Anyway, so we got them going. And what you've got to bear in mind is that a lot of conservationists, the birdie people, they don't feel happy unless they've got a pair of field glasses between them and the bird. Okay, then they're okay. You take the field glasses away and give them an egg, they wet themselves because they just don't have the hands-on experience.
Right.
And so anything that they're thinking about doing in the way of conservation tends to be hands-off because they can't do the hands-on.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're not very happy about falconers and people that do the hands-on.
I know. It's very bizarre.
It is. But anyway, because I'm both, that's what we did. And then they had the confidence to start importing them from Spain and Sweden. And now we've got them all over the place. I mean, we chuck out hawk food scraps, leftovers here from the breeding birds, and I'll see 30 or 40 kites come in.
It's great.
Are these the same kites that you would see in the Middle East in cities in large numbers?
No, that's the black kite, Aaron. This is the red kite, which is actually slightly more beautiful and spectacular.
Okay.
The black kite is a very drab-looking kite.
The behavior sounds like it could be similar.
Yeah, they are very similar, and they will interbreed at times. And Shakespeare wrote about the red kites because they thought they had black kites as well in Britain in those days, in the cities, in the towns. They didn't really have cities. Shakespeare wrote, "When the kite builds, look to lesser linen, because the kite will steal your smalls off the washing line to line the nest with."
Oh.
See? And I know when people used to bring me the kite eggs from the nest, my office is upstairs and the incubator rooms are downstairs. I could smell if somebody was bringing a kite egg because it stank so much.
Really?
Couldn't put it anywhere near the falcon eggs.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, the kites we have here are much different from that.
They are. They're not related. The kites we're talking about is Milvus milvus, which is the red kite, and Milvus migrans, which is the black kite. Your kite, you've got what? Down south, the letterwing. Have you got the letterwing kite? What have you got?
I'm not very familiar.
There's the
swallowtail kite,
and I believe snail kites,
Everglade kite.
Yeah,
come on, guys! Aren't you supposed to be telling me?
I can't catch rabbits with it, Doctor. So I don't. I can't think.
The snail kite and the Everglades kite. Are those two different species, or is that the same one?
You get one to outfly a snail.
Yeah.
I'd read an article recently. There was some sort of, it was the invasive apple snails that brought back either the snail kite or the Everglades kite in the Everglades. If you go down to South Florida, you'll see these giant snail shells everywhere.
Yeah.
And that brought those back from the brink of extinction.
Okay.
I think the Colsons were involved in some work with them, if I'm not mistaken.
They do it with the swallowtail kites, which are probably the prettiest kite that I've seen.
That's good.
Mississippi kites, of course. I forgot about those. We have.
Yes.
I'm trying to open your mind beyond rabbits, Casey.
Squirrels,
good luck
maybe.
With that, Dr. Fox. I've been trying to open his mind for years.
Yeah.
It's like when you're talking about looking for a particular flight, Casey's looking for a particular number.
Oh, you're still on the numbers game, Casey.
No. I'm getting better. It's hard to break free from that. I just I like to catch things. That's why I fly goshawks. So.
Yeah.
I don't have the bloodlust of like like some of the younger guys or whatever.
Are you divorced?
Not yet. No,
yet.
She's in the other room. She's in the other room, just pissed off.
Okay. And I'm not winking at you. I seem to be getting a red eye because I got several bee stings today because we were collecting swarms of bees.
Oh, for honey?
Well, they're swarming at this time of year in the heat. We have some turf-roofed houses, and they like to nest in the roofs.
Oh, that's cool. That's right. That's where I grew up, in a hobbit home.
Did you?
Yeah, no, that's where my ancestors are from, in the Hobbitville.
I can picture you there, Casey.
I fit right in. You haven't even seen me in person yet. Yeah, those are my people.
Dr. Fox, I wanted to go back to goshawks.
Okay.
You guys have invasive gray squirrels in England, correct?
Yeah.
And did you make any observations of the goshawks predating on those gray squirrels?
Robert Kenwood did some studies on that a little bit.
Okay.
The goshawks will take the squirrels, yes. I don't think it's enough to be a staple, but it's certainly a frequent quarry.
Okay.
We have an agenda here to prove that goshawks catch squirrels.
Oh, I mean, I've caught gray squirrels with goshawks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they'll take them all right.
Now, we have Dr. Nick Fox here. Do you think that it is, and you can answer however you want. We're not pushing you one direction. Aaron Carr, he already let it slip. I was trying to set it up like organically to see, so we get a real answer. And I don't think that I don't think he would curtail his answer for us.
Come out with it, Casey.
Okay. What is your opinion on somebody that lives in squirrel country and they want to fly a goshawk at squirrels? There seems to be a lot of contention that it's unethical, dangerous. I mean, there's obvious dangers, but what's your opinion? And you don't have to put your foot, your line in the sand, but I think your opinion would carry some weight.
You tell me, why is it unethical?
I don't feel that it is. Some people feel as though that it is unethical because squirrels happen to be able to bite. And they think that it's unethical to fly.
They think it's unethical for the goshawk.
For the falconer, not the goshawk.
The falconer doesn't get bitten.
Well, no, it's unethical. And so the way that it was phrased by a very well-known falconer
I'm enjoying this, Aaron.
Yeah, I could tell. The way it was, he's just stringing it out. It was, what did he say? He said it's unethical to pit a goshawk against a squirrel. And that's what he said.
Because the squirrel might bite the goshawk.
Because the squirrel can bite a goshawk. The potential for danger is there.
So the squirrel could bite a red tail.
Yeah, but the argument is that their feet.
Nobody cares a shit about red tails.
Well, people do, but apparently that millimeter of extra layer, the diameter is a millimeter bigger, so that prevents the red tail from getting seriously injured, is the theory that I've been hearing.
The idea is that the red tail's better equipped to deal with the squirrel.
Because their toes are a millimeter thicker.
Well, we're missing something, though, is a lot of these same people would argue that a red tail's natural quarry is squirrel, and it is not a natural quarry of goshawks.
Yes, that was the argument that was presented to us by a very well-known.
Does your American goshawk not take squirrels?
Oh, no, they do, of course. Of course they do. Of course they do. But apparently the evidence doesn't.
Does the wild goshawk take squirrels ethically?
It depends on which falconer's reading the study.
I think what you'll find is it doesn't really matter whether it's a red tail or a goshawk or what it is. Some will get bitten and some won't. Because some are kind of a bit clumsy and get bitten. Helen, my wife's just chipping in and saying her red tail used to take squirrels.
Ah, okay.
It's a favorite.
It's some of the best flights that you could possibly see is a red tail on squirrels and goshawk on squirrels.
Yeah. But I mean, a good goshawk is much more nimble. If it knows what it's doing, it should have the squirrel disarmed very quickly. But I mean, it's a bit like a falcon with the crow. A lot of people don't like to fly the peregrine at crows because the peregrine isn't very clever with its feet. Whereas the desert falcons and so on are much more bruisers.
Right.
They'll get in there. And the New Zealand falcon, I mean, they'll just go head over heels down the slope, but they won't let go.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So your opinion is that is...
I tell you what, if I had a goshawk and there was a squirrel, I'd hawk it.
I like that answer. Thank you, Dr. Nick. Thank you, Dr. Nick Fox, for that answer. If it's being recorded, so we have that. Thank you.
Well, you go home without hawking it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's what you have to hawk, I don't think that it's unethical to fly and especially the European goshawk, of various countries. I mean, they're significantly larger, and it's almost like
I used to catch them with a male goshawk. Male goshawk's very nimble at something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that.
Once they know what they're doing, but they might, if they're not good footers. But one of the things with the roe crow is that we're teaching the young falcon how to foot.
Okay.
How to get in the right position to foot and how to foot. And take it by the head, take it down, disarm it. We teach all of that.
Yeah, it's too bad that you can't. Well, I mean, listen, technology is only getting better. It's eventually you'll be able to have a roe crow that has like a little mechanical head, and when it gets captured, the head spins around and starts like pecking and like ding, and then like and then as soon as the falcon applies pressure to the head, the machine just goes and just shuts off.
I hope nobody's listening in on this podcast.
Just a few people, just a couple thousand people.
There's some normal people out there listening.
There's some normies. There's some civilians that listen to our show.
All right, Dr. Fox, we talked about breeding falcons, but I think we would be remiss if we didn't discuss some of your breeding operation and some of your clientele.
Well, I don't really have much clientele anymore because I'm supposed to be retired. We still send out falcons to the Middle East for hunting and racing. I used to breed. I bred for 26 years for Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, who's now president of the United Arab Emirates. And we have bred for all of the royal families of the Gulf region. Nowadays, the market is quite down. Okay. So we breed 50 or 60 a year. That's all now.
Oh, just a couple. That's a lot of birds still.
Well, yeah, I mean, a bigger operation will breed a lot more than that.
Okay.
Did you provide birds to the British royal family at all?
I have done, yes. We've got falcons belonging to our late Queen here.
Wow. Cool.
King Charles isn't particularly interested. He wants me to come and catch crows on his place, but...
Can I come?
I've told him his place isn't suitable.
You got to just go anyway. I mean, you make it... Oh, my goodness. I would just go and wing it, literally.
I'm not you, Casey.
I know.
I found there's a lot of wealthy people that really enjoy the pastime of making falconers dance, or jester maxing, as they say.
Yeah, the kids call it jester maxing. They like to...
What's that then?
It means like I've done. Aaron never joined us, but I've done quite a few events with Donald Trump Jr., RFK Jr., something with Dr. Oz, like some very wealthy, well-known people, and we like to joke around that they kind of like to like to dabble and see what you do. And basically it's a modern day, the royalty, and we get to go and dance for them and fly our birds and entertain them. And then they just go, on you go now, leave. And then we just leave.
Well, when we go hawking, it's usually by invitation only, and we don't charge money.
Okay.
And once you start charging money, you get into all sorts of complications with insurance and God knows what.
Right.
If you start taking out some people, I've shown the ex-Crown Prince of Saudi around the farm here.
Wow.
But I don't do my hawking for other people.
Right.
Well, we do it as a group for ourselves.
Yeah.
But you have to take us on our terms.
So no jester maxing from Dr. Fox.
No.
It's a very modern term, and it's hysterical for people listening because it's like
I've never heard of it, but you'd have to be damn careful what kind of horse you offer them.
Well, yes, because you don't want to hurt somebody. But we do, and most of the events are for charity purposes, and there's tickets that are sold that go to charity and good causes.
We have the races for that, you see.
Yeah.
We have a farm in Wiltshire, which is well, you should know Wiltshire because it's the north. Well, it includes all of Salisbury Plain, which is a famous place for hawking in Britain.
Okay.
So we have a farm there, and that's where we hold the races every September. So if any of your readers out there, are they readers or listeners? Listeners.
If they're a fan of our show, they don't do much reading, Dr. Nick.
I've noticed that. That's why we made the management film.
Okay, yeah.
I've tried to get people interested in ethics and things, but it's water off a dog's back.
No, I know the ethics conversation is an excellent one, and we've touched on it quite a bit on the show. If
you want to get into ethics, Casey, I've written a book called Hunting Ethics. In fact, I've got one right here because I was doing something with a. There you are. Look. Does that come up the right way round for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Hunting Ethics: A Personal Journey.
Yes.
Do you have an audiobook version for our slow readers?
No, but I think we've got a Kindle version.
Okay. Still have to read with the Kindle, unfortunately.
Presumably it'll make an audio version automatically, won't it?
That's a good question.
The thing is, it has lots and lots of illustrations.
Ooh, now you're talking Casey's language.
That's for people, you see, that don't read. They want the pictures.
Gotcha. Yeah. So where can people purchase that book?
You can purchase it. I think we have it online with Amazon, or you can purchase it from our website, which is falcons.co.uk. Or I think I'm dropping off a load with the California Hawking Club in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So we're going, right, here's another thing.
Yep.
We're going to do a row crow training weekend near Sacramento, I think.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks. If anybody's over in that area, come and have a fly and take the mickey out of a couple of Brits.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Are there a lot of sales over here from people buying them a lot?
Well, we're not. We're just starting really. We've just sent. I think we've just sent a pallet of 30 over.
Okay.
And we're just introducing them to how the hunt race operates.
Okay. I would love to get into that.
I tell you what, you guys are over in the east where it's all full of trees and it's not good for falcons.
We got some open areas over here we can get to pretty easily.
You see, if you've got an open area, you can have fun with row crows.
Okay.
Because a whole load of you can come together, and you know what you Americans are like at bragging.
Yes.
You can brag to your heart's content. You can have a barbecue. You can have some beers. right? You can bring your falcons along, fly some road crows, see some really good flights up into the clouds, have a good time, and not get bitten by a squirrel.
Oh, that sounds like a blast. I would 100% do it. When you sent a pallet of 30, was that to one individual person, or was that?
No, that's the California Hawking Club.
Okay, and then they're gonna sell them, I guess.
Yeah, we've got pre-sales to a number of individuals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say earlier, they're surprisingly affordable. In my opinion, they're not terribly expensive.
Yeah,
they're not too expensive, but also you can just keep repairing them. I mean, they are designed to be beaten up.
Right.
So you can keep repairing, and if it gets too bad and you've backed your truck over a wing or something, then you can just put another wing on.
Right. Now, are there guys using them for training goshawks? I would definitely like to give that a try.
We have had people training goshawks and harrisawks with them. We do a nice pheasant.
Okay.
And actually, we can ground launch them.
Oh, wow.
Which means you can have them hidden in some scrub, come along with your goss, and flash your pheasant.
Okay.
Off it goes. And as I can see, you're not one for walking more than you have to, Casey.
Oh,
You can pilot your pheasant into a horseshoe shape so that she actually kills it after a good towering flight near your feet.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice.
Bring it right to you.
Casey.
The kids would call this line of speaking. It's roast maxing. You're roasting me. No, I want one, and I think
you know how hard it is to get a goshawk or a harrishawk fit.
Well, I don't think a harrishawk is ever fit, to be honest with you. But
well, with a roe pheasant or something, you can actually make them fly. And the other thing is, both with things like that, you know what a goshawk's like. If you're not careful, they fizzle out.
Right.
Well, because of glycogen depletion and so on. But a lot of it's in the head. 100%. And you can actually get it to go further and further and take it in the air because you don't want a goss learning just to catch it on the ground.
Correct.
So you can train the goss to have the flight characteristics that you're looking for. We have the same with falcons. You'll get some falcons, they'll chase a crow up to, I don't know, 400 or 500 feet, and then they'll give up. They kind of hit a glass ceiling.
Right.
And with those falcons, we can gradually raise the ceiling until they'll go right up.
Yes, you could do the same with the same concept applies to goshawks, because you'll notice if a young bird has success on, there's a lot of guys that hunt ducks, jumping them and fist hawking them. And a bird will get in the habit of catching them on the rise. And then if they don't catch it on the rise, a lot of times that bird basically forever just will give up and land in the tree. But if you have one that found success flying it down, that bird will almost always try to fly it down.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of just giving it that, almost like a lot of falconry it correlates really well to gambling, where you give them that little taste of success and then they'll give it all they got. They'll remortgage their whole house to make sure that they catch that.
Written about gambling and addictiveness.
Oh, I need to read that. I need to read that chapter. I'll have my mom read it to me.
Part of the hunter's psyche. Variable reinforcement ratio.
Yes, that's exactly. I couldn't bring that up quick enough in my brain. But yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Yeah, variable reinforcement. I've got a
question for you, Casey.
Okay.
In America, in Britain, we now have a lot of falconers starting to use thermal imaging.
Okay.
To find game. What's the law on that in America, and what's the ethical attitude of the falconers in America?
I think it's basically illegal in every scenario in most states at this point. Yeah, to spot game with it and then hunt, scan a field and look for, pheasant or something and then get out and put your bird up. I mean, at that point, you might as well just go home and play video games, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point? Like, there's literally no point at that.
Well, I've raised that with some people here in Britain, and they just say, well, nowadays, because of this, that, and the other, if they haven't got one, they just can't find the game.
That's pathetic.
I will say.
It made me sick to my stomach, Dr. Nick Fox.
At the risk.
Go ahead.
At the risk of being roast maxed, I've always been interested to know how many rabbits are in a particular field that I hawk. I've thought it would be interesting to go back at night and count them with the thermal.
Yeah, but Aaron, that's different. You're doing a survey. I mean, they are very good. And if you put one on a drone, excellent for surveying deer and hare numbers and so on. For surveys, whether it's for management or conservation or whatever it is. But what you're not doing is going there, finding it, and then just getting your hawk to hawk it.
Yeah, I don't find any interest in that. The only time I could see first of all, I don't have one and they're very expensive. So, but the only time I could see myself being tempted to use one is when you have a new goshawk and you're entering it on quarry. And I would imagine you're aware of that phenomenon where you get almost like possessed to get your bird on slips, and you'll almost do anything to get your bird on a slip.
You're looking for something that's blind in one eye with a wooden leg, aren't you?
Yes, anything that moves that we can find success on. I would be tempted to use one to just make sure my bird gets a nice slip, wild slip.
I can see you're ethically slipping here, Casey.
Yes, I control myself. I'm better these days, but when you have a new goshawk and you're trying to enter it, it's you'll do almost anything you need to do to get that bird entered. At least I will, to within reason.
Dr. Fox, I wanted to ask you a couple things about.
Then we're going to wrap it because I know it's getting late for you over there.
Yeah, because it's 9:45 at night. It's almost my bedtime.
Okay.
Wanted to ask you, when looking at your website and your shop, something jumps out at me as unusual, and you actually mentioned this animal earlier. You're selling a book called Beavers in Wales.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write that. Actually, she's what do they call it? She's not an archaeologist. She's a
anthropologist.
No, she's
just pulling out the only word that I've heard before.
She looks at fossils and subfossil remains. So, for example, for beavers in Wales, paleontologist, paleoarchaeologist, or something like that.
Okay.
In Wales, the beaver became extinct about 400 years ago. But of course, there's still signs of them. There's signs in the bogs. You can find sticks with beaver bites on, and remains of dams, or even beaver bones. And we have names of farms and places which are called something avanc, which is Welsh for beaver. So you can see it in the terminology. Now, that's what that particular book is about, because we do beaver conservation here.
Cool. Yeah.
And I do beaver trapping here in America, and beavers are plentiful here. Then it's obviously different. You have European beavers.
No, they're getting common in parts of Europe, and in Bavaria, they have to trap quite a lot now. Yeah. I mean, I've eaten beavers in all sorts of recipes.
They're delicious, right?
Yeah. They're a bit like muntjac, the Chinese water deer we have here.
I never had that.
Yeah, but no, the beaver is making a big comeback in Britain now, and we'll reach a stage where people are having to trap them, just like you're having to do, which is fine.
Right.
When there's enough, we have to start putting a finger in their eye.
It's a good resource.
Yeah. And I mean, I love to have them because they're really good on the farm.
Yeah, fascinating creatures.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I wanted to end with a subject that's near and dear to Casey's heart. We mentioned it earlier, the Bird of Prey Management Series.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you like films, don't you, Casey?
They work well with my little brain.
Okay, so because we've had so many interns, and I got fed up of repeating myself, and we used to do courses. You said you had Helen McDonald on your podcast, or she came to us when I think she was 14.
Yep.
On a course, and she was my PA for a number of years. And anyway, I got fed up of repeating myself, so I started making films, and this was before we all had these mobile phones and whatnot. And I also found that, I don't know what it is, people don't read books anymore. And their concentration span now, I think the concentration span of a falconer now, in terms of reading, is about the same as a chicken's.
Agreed.
20 seconds and their eyes glaze over.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
So we make films. So in the 1990s, we did one on the crow falcons, just for hawking.
Yeah.
And that's still available. I have brown hair and everything.
Yes.
Then we made 10 management films. Each one is about 90 minutes. You can get them online through falcons.co.uk. They don't cost the earth anymore. And so we've done 4 on captive breeding, aviary design, artificial insemination, incubation, and then rearing and so on. We've done 1 on anatomy, 1 on health care, not disease as such, health care, basic training, behavior. What else have we done? Anyway, 10 altogether, and each one's about 90 minutes, broken down into little chapters so that you only have to watch 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Because I go into the staff room and ask them awkward questions.
It's so I just, you probably hear this all the time, so it's probably, it's just not a big deal. But I grew up in a household where we didn't have cable TV. We just watched movies.
What's cable TV?
Exactly. I didn't even find out what that was until like a couple years ago. Like watching like Cartoon Network and like Animal Planet. Like you have, like, it's like, we just had like a TV in the house and there was no connection to it. So we just watched movies and DVDs. And I grew up as a kid when I was getting into falconry. I was like, 12, 13. I sat and watched your videos. I must have seen your videos. I'm not even exaggerating.
You can tell me more about them than I can then, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Shall I test you on them, Casey?
Probably not. It's been a while since I watched them, but it was absolutely instrumental in giving me a base. I had good sponsors, but it was absolutely instrumental in giving me a base on what to do, what not to do, things to look for. And I must have watched them 1,000 times. I'm not even exaggerating. And it really helped me.
It did. Good. Well, I hope that you won't find, certainly in my main book on understanding the bird of prey, you won't find the word correct.
Okay.
Because once you start using words like correct, you've shut your mind. Usually it's better to say words like this works better than that does.
Right.
In these circumstances, you're like a lawyer. You've got so many qualifiers.
Yes.
Don't be too didactic. Don't be too dogmatic. Because if you're a falcon in the Philippines, it'll be very different to Nevada.
Right. Yeah.
Is
there a way that I think Aaron informed me that you can now get that whole series. It's like digitized now. Is there a way?
Yeah. You can get it if you go to www.falcons.co.uk. And I think if you go to shop, I think you should see it there.
Yeah, I recommend any falconer that's new, or even if they just want to brush up and get a base. I mean, that stuff just locks in proper technique, just proper thought process with dealing with birds in general.
You should
it's excellent.
Find it quite useful background knowledge. I mean, films like Behavior and Anatomy, stuff like that, we did put quite a lot of effort into those films.
Yes.
To show you, how the air sacs work and the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you even dissected a couple birds on those videos, right?
We take birds to pieces and all of that, because a lot of people, they get their first bird and really actually it's a package that they've got no idea what's going on inside, no idea how to judge the crop size without weighing it, just by looking at it.
Yeah.
No idea what the tendons in the legs are and what would happen if a squirrel bit just there. It's going to cut that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, or the blood supply, where's the venous return if you've injured it there? So, they've come to it just sort of do this, do that, do the other, and off you go sort of style, rather than having an in-depth understanding of what they're looking at and what they're doing.
Correct.
Because once you understood it, your falconry is going to be very different to mine. But if you understand the principles and the basics of what you're doing, you can apply it to your situation in North Carolina.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Correct. So if you click on the website, video on demand, and then you could buy each individual chapter by itself, or you can buy the whole lot, which is 11 hours and 39 minutes for $140.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
Yeah, that's not bad.
12 hours of video for $140. Not bad at all.
It's invaluable. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
I mean, we couldn't afford to, you can imagine it cost a lot of money to do that, and especially in those days. Nowadays, editing stuff is a lot easier, but it wasn't then. And we filmed it in a lot of different countries.
Yes.
So it was it was shot on film and edited on film physically.
Yeah.
That is a labor intensive.
When you say film, not celluloid film, it's, it's various formats we filmed it in, actually, because by the end you were able to do it onto a SIM card even.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but no, we wanted to end on that because that's a topic that comes up like nonstop on our show, how helpful that was to me.
Yeah, you will find that helpful. And I'm not trying to push it because we made it, but it's digestible, put it that way.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like me.
I'm trying not to be patronizing, Casey.
No, you can be. That's my role on the show.
You can sit there and look at it and talk about it with your friends, but you can see it with your eyes.
Yep.
And we try to show real birds doing whatever it is we're talking about, rather than just write about it or theory. You'll get a lot of people writing books and it's all sort of theory. And when it comes down to it, you find they haven't actually done it.
Right. Yes.
So, but on the film, you can see it happening, and it's more palatable for the average person.
Correct. And the basic training was great. Before I got my red tail, I watched it like 80 times, and just do's and don'ts, and then the food and how you do the diet, and you vary it up and switch it up with different vitamins and what different meats are. And I remember one video where you had your whole team, I guess, prepping for ISs, and they're out there just mass butchering of pigeons and quail and pulling and then you show pulling the crop out, because that's where all the bacteria is for frounce and other diseases, and you should always remove that. It's just a great. It's one of my favorites. I'll just go on for days.
Attention, Dr. Fox. He paid attention.
I shouldn't tell you this, but we had an intern. I won't say what her name was. First time we wanted her to pull the neck of a quail, she was in tears.
Oh, did she write a very famous book?
No.
No, that turned into a movie.
But now she's into it like a robber's dog.
Oh yeah. You gotta get over it.
just got to get,
You got to get over it. But man, we can't thank you enough, Dr. Nick. Thank you so much.
Lovely to see you, and enjoy your tackles and all that.
Okay, great.
And our high numbers, right?
And your numbers,
Yes.
If you can count above 9, can't you?
I can try my best.
Double figures.
Me and my 6-year-old son are learning math together.
Excellent. I knew you could do it, Casey. Well done. Lovely to meet you. Glad you're not a porn star.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Well, he's not glad, but Dr. Fox, you and I are glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Fox, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
You too.